Claire, you're watching Stitch Home Sew. Thank you so much for joining me today for another video. Today's video is a Fridaysews video, although it will be coming to you a little bit late. I quite often say that, don't I? So I'll be with you hopefully Saturday, maybe Sunday. Just see how we get on. But it's been a little while since I did a video. Again, life getting in the way, so apologies for that. And I've had a distinct lack of sojo of late, and so I've just kind of allowed myself to just do some other things. You will see in the background here, you might just be able to see just the edge of it, a Cricket Joy box. I had a birthday last weekend, was it the weekend before? Can't quite remember now, and that was one of my gifts from my family, which has been lovely. So I've gone down a little bit of a rabbit hole with that, and there's definitely more to come in terms of figuring out what I can do with that. But yeah, that's been great. Whilst I'm on the theme of birthdays, etc., I've got a couple of other things to show you that I got for my birthday. One of the things that I got was this gorgeous card. Now hopefully you can see that. My mother-in-law painted this card for me. She's such a fantastic artist, and it's of a little sewing shop, and on it it's got Stitch Home Sew. I just think that is absolutely beautiful. She's so utterly talented, and yeah, I love it. So I think I'm going to frame that one at some point. Yeah, put a lovely little frame and I can have that up in my sewing space because I think it's gorgeous. I also got a couple of other sewing bits. I've got some threads from my sister, and along with this lovely pack of fat quarters. Of course, she knows teal is my colour. And the other thing that I got from my sister, which is just amazing, it's going to be really difficult for me to show it to you all because it's so massive, but is this absolutely phenomenal crochet blanket. Now that's really only just showing you the sort of the middle section, but it's massive, absolutely huge, and she's been making this for months. I think I'm showing you the wrong side, she'll be telling me off. I think it's this side. Now I don't know, one side's got slightly more raised than the other. Anyway, I think this is the right side. I might be wrong. Apologies if I've got it wrong, sis. Anyway, it's just beautiful. Obviously this took her months and months and months to do, and every time I've gone round I've been, oh, I love it, I love it. I never thought that it would be coming my way, so I think I squealed when I opened it. It's just so beautiful, and just so much hard work and time has gone into it, and it's so snugly warm and just perfect for the colder weather that we're coming into. So yeah, wonderful gift, so amazing. So what have I been up to since I've been away? I have done a bit of sewing since I last filmed with you. I've made a couple of t-shirts. That was from the what pattern is it? Forget Me Not Patterns Iris t-shirt. I've made two t-shirts. They're both blue but slightly different styles. Now the first one I've made is just your standard short sleeve t-shirt. I've lowered the neckline because that feels better for me, but I've just done a normal sleeve on it. Now on the second one I've done the pleat detail, and I've done a 3/4 length sleeve with the little sort of pleat detail that it has on the pattern. There's also a short sleeve version that you can do with a similar sort of gorgeous little pleat detail, which I just think is lovely. And I've also on both of them bound the necklines and added a little label. I think both of them, no, one of them is a little rosy cheeks that just says sew me, and the other one says handmade by me. And I've done a bias bound neck. Now this is just using woven bias binding, but obviously it's a scoop neck, so I don't have to worry about pulling on over my head. And I used a lovely tutorial from the wonderful Rachel from the French Seams, and she's right, it really does finish off a t-shirt and just makes it look really professional, I think. So I'm really pleased with both of those. Now the other thing that I've made is this. Now, I've finished this a few weeks ago and I did show it on my Instagram. Now, this is the new latest pattern from the wonderful Adam Sews. Now, you know that I've made many of his patterns before and I harp on about the trio of pouches a lot. This is the Maker's Caddy pattern. And you may remember, if you've watched my channel before, that I made a different caddy before, and I swore that I would never make one again because it just taken me such a long time. Well, when Adam said that he was going to be making one of his own design, of course I said, look, I'm more than happy to give your pattern a whirl, because then I can kind of do a comparison, if you like. Now, I found this pattern brilliant. It is so much easier than the other caddy that I made, and that's because most of it you do on the flat, rather than, it's only when you putting these four side bits together that you're kind of bringing the bag together, and so it just makes it incredibly easier and far less time consuming. I also found it much less wasteful than the other pattern that I made before, and there's more options that you can do. So I've chosen to put 2 zip pockets on either end, but you can choose to put just a slip pocket or 1 zip pocket on one end and 1 on the other. You'll see here that it's also got the bit so that you can do a bag strap. I haven't actually added that as yet, but I do plan to. I just haven't got the enough webbing as such as yet. I've done sort of rose gold detailing because I just that's what I had in, and you can do different types of pockets inside. So on this side I've got a vinyl pocket, and on this side I've got like a mesh pocket, and I've also added pockets on the inside which is made out of the same sort of fabric as this, and I'm absolutely delighted with it. Yeah, really recommend this pattern. Just brilliant, really good instructions, and a video that takes you through it completely step by step. So from that point of view, it really holds your hand. So if you are like me, a bit of a visual learner, and actually you prefer just to watch someone doing it and then do it yourself, this is definitely really helpful as far as that concerns. So yes, highly recommend that pattern, and yeah, check it out. So what else have I been up to? I went to a social yesterday which was being hosted as a sort of joint hosted between Adam from Adam Sews and the lovely Catherine from Sober to Makery. Now, it was brilliant. I had such a lovely time. As I say, I've rather lost my sojo over the last few weeks, and it was just what I needed to kind of ignite my sort of joy for sewing again, and I just had a lovely time. I was sewing another one of these dresses actually, which is the chalk and notch fringe dress, and I'm sewing it in this fabric, which is the Lady McElroy's viscose fabric, which is something like the Dip in the Lake or something along those lines, and it's the darker base with these gorgeous colours. So I've got to the point where I've made the bodice and I just need to do the skirt and attach it, and I'll put the 3 little buttons on as well. So I'm not too far, and obviously hem it, I'm not too far away from finishing that. I'm further on to finishing it than I am from starting it, if you understand what I'm yabbering on about. So that was just a lovely event. Adam had made a lovely curry for lunch, and the lovely Catherine had made a beautiful dessert. There was also lots of teas and coffees and soft drinks and biscuits and things throughout the day. So yeah, really lovely. And they'd also, there was a swaps table, and they'd also arranged a raffle. Now, we were doing the whole event that particular month was being hosted in memory of one of the lovely ladies that used to come to the sewing social that unfortunately passed away, and the lovely Elaine. And so we were hosting, or the lovely Adam and Catherine hosted the social in memory of her, and we had a raffle, and any funds that were raised from the raffle or from the event itself was all going to charity, the Phyllis Tuckwell hospice, I believe. And it was lovely. It was such a lovely, just a really lovely atmosphere. The tables were all arranged in a kind of sort of a horseshoe. We could all chat and engage with each other and see what each other were up to. It was just a really lovely day, and I was very lucky to win a couple of prizes on the raffle. It was ever so funny because people were being drawn for the raffle, and I'd sort of already won a couple of prizes, and I said, if my tickets come out again, please just pop them back in. And mine and the lovely Jenny in particular, her tickets just kept coming up. She was like, no, put them back in. Anyway, eventually it came to the point where everybody had got a prize, so that was really good fun and lovely. So yes, really very lucky to win 2 prizes. I picked up this gorgeous little set. Hopefully you can see that. It is an Alice Caroline flower power cushion. It's got these gorgeous little bees on and things. So at some point, I don't know when, but at some point I'll get round to sewing that one up. And the other one was this little package of stuff that's got some labels, it's got some clips and some little heart templates. And this is arranged by Sarah Ashford. I've never actually heard of her before, but yeah, that was really lovely. So yeah, it's been lovely, but it was genuinely lovely. Loads of stuff has just fallen on the floor. And another thing that I got at the sewing social was this fabulous piece of fabric. Now, the lovely Annette, who I was sat next to, she said, oh, I'm so glad I'm sat next to you, or something along those lines. I've got a piece of fabric that I was going to put on the de-stash table, but she said, before I do, I was thinking that it was right up your street because it's your colour, being teal. And she said, you know, you're more than welcome to have it if you want to have a look at it first before I put it on the table. So it's this gorgeous, sorry, the light's really reflecting, teal fabric. It's a stretch fabric. I don't know what the composition is, but it's a stretch fabric, but also kind of, I don't know whether you would call it a plissé. I don't really know. But yeah, it's got a good bit of stretch to it in a 4-way stretch, I think. Hang on, 2 ticks. So probably less stretch that way to that way, really stretchy that way, not quite so stretchy that way. So we'd probably be looking at cutting it round. Also, I think it would be more flattering to have the stripes running that way, which actually is cross grain, but I think that's the way I'm going to cut it. Any tips on that or thoughts on that, do let me know. So I'm not sure what to make from this, but it's a lovely teal colour, and there's just kind of a hint of sparkle to it, so I think it's going to make an absolutely gorgeous dress for the Christmas period. So yeah, I'm not sure what to make from it, so please do let me know. So those are the things that I got from the Sewing Social. It was just so nice to spend some time doing some sewing with other people. Everybody's talking about sewing and just being inspired to do some sewing. I have to say, it took me a little while. I reckon it took me a good hour before I actually turned on my machine and did anything. Once I got going, it was lovely. I had such a nice time sewing. Just a few mistakes were made, as always. The unpicker had to go when I sewed the waist strap was supposed to go in one of the waist ties, obviously. I'll start again. The waist ties needed to go into the waist darts. Well, first of all, I'd sewn the darts without putting the waist ties in, so I had to unpick a little bit of each one. Then I then sewed one of the waist ties not into the waist dart but into the bust dart, so again that had to be unpicked. So yeah, that's what happens when you're and not paying as much attention as you should, but it didn't matter, not really. I just had to spend a little bit more time unpicking than I would have liked to. So anyway, I think that's it from me today. A little bit of a short and sweet. I'm not quite sure how long I've been yabbering on for, probably about a quarter of an hour. But I do hope you've enjoyed today's video, just catching up with what I've been up to. And if you have got any ideas for that fabric, then do let me know. If you've got any questions about the caddy, then also let me know. But yeah, as I said before, I can't recommend that pattern enough. And I would just like to say, I hope you guys are really well. I hope you've had some time to sew. Thank you so much to everybody that is watching and subscribing and supporting my channel, liking and all of those things, and anybody that's commenting, just thank you so much. It really does help. And I'm sorry that I'm not particularly regular in terms of recording and editing and uploading, but I really do appreciate your support, so thank you so much for all of you who continue to watch my videos when they do come out. Anyway, take care, happy sewing, bye bye.